Here is the 5 tips that's going to allow you to improve your sales. Firstly is you need to stop agonizing over it. Stop questioning it. Stop worrying about it. Stop trying to wait for the right time. Just make contact, whether that is sending that email, ideally phone call. Pick up the phone and call the people. Introduce yourself. Tell them the reason I'm calling you is this, and get straight to the point. Stop agonizing it. Stop making stories up. Just go and do it. I guarantee you do this, you'll get some results in your sales, even if you don't like selling. And if you're interested in finding out more about a really great framework for people that don't like selling, send me a message, DM, email me, whatever it is. And I've got a fantastic template that you can use to improve your sales cycle and the framework that follows that as well. The second thing we mentioned is about studying other people. So if you can find other people that's getting the results that you want to get, who's getting the kind of impact that you want to get, and whether that is their progression, their income, their lifestyle, whatever it is, they're the best people to follow. And I'm not saying go and copy what they're doing. I'm saying model what they're doing. Find out how they think. Find out what they read. Find out what they do. Look at what they say. Sometimes what people's telling you is not always the actions that they take. So actions do speak louder than words, but make sure that you can go and find the people, and that the people that you're following do actually get the results that you want. There's a lot of people out there that's very happy to give information and help and support, but they're not doing it themselves, and they're maybe not got the results. I see a lot of people who, especially in this training space that I'm in, training and coaching, is that like the heart's in the right place and they mean the best, and they're teaching sales, but they've not done sales for 15 years. They've not been in the field and not the phone. They've not actually done any real selling for a decade or so. So that they just don't get what it's like. And unless you're selling on a week to week basis right now, you don't know what it's out there. How can you teach somebody? You don't know what it's out there, rather. So how can you teach somebody else to do that? It's very difficult if you are not doing this yourself. So make sure the people that you are modeling are actually doing what they say, not just reading about it and sharing it with you as well. The next thing is about you knowing it's a numbers game. So I know there's different methodologies of sales, and I don't necessarily think that this place we're in right now, this era, is, I don't believe a sales methodology is going to work. I think that you have to have a blend of methodologies now. So you can't just pick one and say, hey, listen, I'm going to go all down the challenger route, or I'm going to go down this route, or I'm going to go down this. I just don't think that methodologies fit right now for where we are. So I think that you have to have a blend. You have to have a mixture. And so numbers matter. And I don't care whether that's number of emails, whether that's number of touch points, number of phone calls. It's a contact sport. You've got to get that out there. I think that the last bit of research I read was something like a deal takes around 15 touch points. I think it was actually between 8 and 15 touch points before it actually turned into some business or a meaningful meeting. Touch points, numbers, it matters. Keep it out there, Joe. You can't expect to just make 3 phone calls, 5 phone calls a day and hit your targets and get the revenue that you want in your business or your career or the income that you need. Anything that you think you need to do more. Whatever you're like writing down and saying, oh, I'm going to do this today, like put a 0 on the end of it and you're probably going to be close to where you need to be. If you think you have to make a certain amount of calls, put a 0. If you think you have to send a certain amount of emails, put a 0 behind it. And that's an exercise I do with my clients, my coaching clients, when it comes to pricing. Whatever they're charging, I'm saying put a 0 at the end of it, because it's still probably too cheap with that 0. But we have to go through a process. Well, the next thing was about believing in yourself and believing in your products. I genuinely think, if you've followed me or heard any of the tape podcast or tapes, I don't know what I'm talking about, like audio, I got fired from a job because I didn't believe in the products. The next thing was believing in yourself and your product. So if you don't believe in your product, you're always going to find it hard. I've been there in the past where I tried to sell a product that I didn't really believe in, and I found every excuse possible to not sell it, to not do anything with it, to do something else, tidy my desk, push things around the desk to make it look tidier, jump onto Photoshop or Canva these days and let's design a new business card, or let's do a flyer because this is going to work, or, whatever it is. I'm finding a million different reasons why I didn't want to do something. And ultimately it come down to, I just didn't believe in the products enough, or myself. So you have to find a way to get them things kicking. If you don't believe in yourself, get some training, reach out to me. I've got training videos that can help you, or somebody for that matter. It doesn't even have to be me. Just reach out to somebody and find a way to skill up and improve the areas that you feel that you're lacking. If the product is something that you don't feel passionate around, find a different product. No, find a different product, or find a way to fall in love with the product. Maybe it's the fact that you're not even using the product yourself. Would you buy your own product? And it's one of the conversations I had with my team the other day. We were talking about one of my team's family members. They've got their own business. And I was saying, listen, if they can't invest in their own business, then why would they expect somebody else to? If you can't invest in marketing or sales or literature or print or websites or whatever it is, if you can't invest in your own business, why would you expect somebody else to invest in it? So you've got to buy into your own products. And would you be prepared to pay for your own products? That's the real thing that you've got to ask yourself, because that's going to help you to really buy into it. The next thing is, I've talked about persistence is not desperation. Joe, I think there's so many people, certainly what I see, and they've probably heard it from somebody else. They'll say, do you know, I don't want to chase them up. I don't want to follow up. I don't want to seem too persistent and too eager because I'm going to look. Do you know what? You are desperate. Do you know, especially if you're in business for yourself. Like you've got to be desperate. You've got to chase it. That doesn't mean that you are desperate. It just means that you're desperate to get your solution to help them solve a problem. That's the way to think about it. It's just a mindset shift. Do you know, don't look at it like I'm desperate because I need your business. Now, I would love your business. I absolutely would love it, but I don't need it. That's the mindset to have. I would love your business, but I don't need your business. But I am desperate to get my solution into your business because I know it can help you. I know the problems that you face. I deal with your industry or your sector or, like your business type. I deal with them all the time. And I know that these are the problems that they face. And I just know that my solution works so well for you. So I'm desperate to get it in because I know it can change things for you. And that's the way to look at the desperation. But remember this, like you chasing somebody up, you following them up. If you genuinely believe that your product, your solutions fix their problems, then it's your absolute duty to follow up with these people and help them. I'm not talking about being like a super stalker, although there's a bit of I think that there's a thing in sales where it's not about, I think people think that selling is about you being a professional talker. And in essence, it's not. It is about being a bit of a stalker. But I'm not talking about you being like these double glazing people that's phoning you 17,000 times a day. And it's not that at all, but what I will say is that you'll only ever be an interruption to somebody until you get their attention. And if you know how to really help them, how to really align your solutions to their problems, then that attention grab becomes a lot easier as well. So if you're interested in finding out how to do that, again, I've got a training program that's called The Science of Sales Success. I believe sales is a science. There's certainly an art involved in it as well. It's definitely science. If you can follow a process and you can do the things in a certain way, then you can get a certain result. So they're the 5 things that you can use. Apply them into your sales process or structure or framework, and you'll start to see some improvements there as well. By the way, if you like this video, do make sure that you subscribe or you like or tag or whatever it is you need to do, save it to come back and revisit this. And do share it with others. If you know somebody that's in business or somebody that's involved in the sales process or someone that's just trying to actually get better results, tag them into it, share it to them, and pass that good deed on to others. And I'll really appreciate it as well if you did that. Until next time.